Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today we are going to be looking at the Knipex CoBolt S mini bolt cutters or compact bolt cutters. This is going to be model number 7101160. Now this is going to be the smaller version of what most people are most familiar with, and that is the larger version, the 8-inch version, or the 7101200 series. Now there are a vast number of different variants of the 200 series as well. There's like something like 14 different styles that you can get the 200 in, that being in their plastic handles or in their comfort grip handles, some that are spring loaded, others that have angled heads, some of them that have recessed jaws, and variants of all of those stuff. While in the smaller version, the 7101160, as of right now, there's only available in the plastic handles and straight version without spring action. So I like this tool a lot though. And the reason I like this is because I think this is going to appeal to a lot of people who want to EDC this type of tool. Now, if you don't need to carry it all the time, then I would probably opt to get something like the 200, or what I'm probably going to be is next on my shopping list is going to be the 250 series of this tool, which is the 10-inch version. But for those that choose to, kind of carry one of these tools with them on a daily basis for whatever needs they may have, then this is a very good option. Now, while this is not going to have the same capability as its larger version, as the 8-inch version, the 8-inch version is going to be capable of doing spring wire, cutting spring wire at 3.6 millimeters, while this one is only capable up to 3 millimeters in spring wire. It's still a very, very good option. And for the majority of the stuff that you're going to need to cut through, this little version, or the smaller version, the 6¼ inch version, is definitely going to be able to get through those. So we're going to try to put it head to head against that against that 200 series, or the 8-inch model, and kind of give you an idea of what its capabilities actually are and why this might be a viable option for you. Let's take a look at it. So I've got a number of different different items that we're going to be cutting with this. Some soft wire, some nails, number 9 wire, some cabling, and then finally into some regular steel rod. Kind of show you what the 800 will do and what the 200 will do and what the 160 will do. So the first thing we got is just regular 12 gauge copper wire stranded. This is a really easy task for these cutters. You'll be able to just snip right through there with both different models without any effort whatsoever. Copper wire, soft wire for these types of cutters is going to be just a non-issue for them getting through. We'll jump up now to 10 gauge in the same stranded copper wire, and you can see they make a very fine cut on that. And with the 160 model, it has no problem getting through there as well. You don't even have to get it down into the fulcrum, and it cuts it extremely well. The next thing we're going to try is just a little 40 finish nail. First we'll go with the 800. Now this one, this is not very thick, so we don't really have to get it all the way to the fulcrum, and it's going to snip through there with pretty much zero effort. And we'll try the same thing with the 160. Now I got that one in the fulcrum, but I think we can cut it a little further up here too, and without much issue. It's a little smoother the further down you get it, obviously, the closer to the fulcrum point, but neither one of those had any trouble. Now the next one up is going to be an 8-penny nail. We're getting a little thicker now, and this is starting to get a little bit tough, but the 200 series doesn't really have an issue getting through there. Now we're going to want to make sure that we get this deep into the fulcrum, and we might have to hit this one a couple times with the smaller version. Actually, we didn't. It got through there in one pass and made a pretty clean cut. And we'll move up to 12 penny. 12 penny is, we're just getting thicker as we go. So with this one, what you want to do oftentimes is, especially with this 800 series, when you start getting into this thicker steels, is you'll want to crimp it as much as you can and then reposition it to get it closer to the fulcrum, so you make a more easy cut. And we'll see how the 160 will fare on this material. So we'll crimp it, we'll move it forward, back, and surprisingly it has zero problem getting through there as well. 9 wire is something that I cut a lot on the job site. This is what we wrap our steel with, steel bundles with. And this is pretty much the reason that I got these cutters, was to get through this stuff. You can get through them with side cutters, you can get through them with other stuff, but this 20-to-1 ratio that these particular cutters offer, it just makes it so much easier. And you can see both of them are getting through those as well. Now we're going to jump up to some cable. This is picture frame wire. This is 50 pound. So it's getting a little tougher to cut this stuff. And really this is kind of not the right tool for getting through cables, but you can see that it has zero effort getting through there as well. And if we jump over to the 160, you can see without issue, it just chews that cable up. It's really great how easy it gets through that smaller cable. Now I've got some 532 galvanized steel cable, and this is a little tougher because it tends to want to fan out a little bit. It's not really made for this. You're better suited using a true cable cutter to cut through this stuff, but it will get through it in a pinch. So we'll try the 160 now and see how it fares against this material. And it's a little tougher. It's noticeably tougher getting through that. This is where we're getting into some stuff that is, you know, it's within the capabilities of the 160, but it's not quite as easy. Now we're going to try it with just some 3/16 solid rod and see how both of these fare against this material. This is where we're getting into some really thicker material for this style and this size of cutter. So on this one, we're going to crimp it, and we're going to have to move it. We'll probably have to do this a couple times with the 800 series, and we'll see. It'll get through this, but you definitely have to reposition it a couple times to get through it. Now I don't know if this little guy is going to get through there. It's going to be awfully close, but we'll give it a shot. So we'll get it pinched and then gradually move it down so that we can get it closer to the fulcrum and get a better, more precise cut on it. It's getting pretty tough though. This is probably about the limit of what this little cutter is going to be able to accomplish. It took about 4 different tries to get through there. I had to move it back ease it back several different times. But even at that, 3/16 solid steel rod, and it was able to cut through there. That's pretty impressive, especially for these little cutters. Now, just to give you a bit of perspective in the size of these, I brought in a couple of the smaller Pliers wrenches from Knipex. The first one is the 5-inch or the 125 model, and then the 150 model or the 6-inch model, to give you an idea of just what the size of these are, how they compare to a more EDC friendly tool like this 5-inch Pliers wrench. And now here they are against their Cobra variants, the 8701 125 and the 150. Again, 5-inch and 6-inch models respectively. So this is a much more EDC friendly tool, and if we bring the 800 in here, or I'm sorry, I keep saying 800, the 200 series or the 8-inch tool in here, you can see that the mini bolt cutters for the 8-inch model are actually not what I would consider something that I want to carry every day. I definitely feel that these smaller version, the 6 1/4 version, are definitely more pocket friendly, if you will, for the people that want to carry a tool like this with them the majority of the time. I lean towards the 800 because this is not something, I did it again, the 200 series, because this is not something that I carry with me every day. It's just something that when I need it, I use it out of the toolbox. But this is I definitely like this smaller version, and this is probably going to stay on the workbench because it's going to come in very, very, very handy. Now I'm going to leave links to several of these tools, especially the CoBolt compact bolt cutters. I'll also include some links for the Pliers wrenches, which are incredible tools, and the Cobras, which are also fantastic tools, all from Knipex. They're just outstanding quality that you get from Knipex. In fact, to date, I have not run across a Knipex tool that I didn't like yet. Well, this has been a better look at the Knipex CoBolt S mini or compact bolt cutters, the 7101 160. I encourage you to check them out. This has been the Texas Tool Crib. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.